Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm James.
And I'm Millie.
And it's time to lock in our League 2 Week 7 predictions. Quickfire.
Before we start, shall we have a look at our predictions from last week?
Go for it.
So, James, last week you got 3 correct results, giving you 6 points.
Okay.
And I got 4 correct results, meaning I am last week's winner with 8 points.
Hey, wow, we actually did terrible last week.
We did. There were some really iffy results in the league last week, and that was the same across the whole of the EFL, actually. I think there was something in the water.
Anyway, we better put that behind us and make a start with this week's predictions.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so starting off with our first of 2 12:30 kickoffs on Saturday, we've got Accrington versus Port Vale.
I think for this one, I'm going to go for the team that are doing better out of the two. I'm going to go for Accrington 0, Port Vale 2.
Yeah, I have to agree. And we've also got a few Port Vale friends on the channel. Hi guys. So I'm going to have to go for a Port Vale win. Accrington 0, Port Vale 2. The other 12:30 kickoff is Chesterfield versus Cheltenham Town.
Yep, I think Cheltenham Town aren't doing as well as we all expected them to.
No.
And so for that reason, they're away too. So I'm going to go for Chesterfield 3, Cheltenham Town 1.
Since they've been relegated, they've not really performed that well. I'm going to have to also go for Chesterfield 3, Cheltenham Town 1. Our first 3 o'clock kickoff on the list is Barrow versus Newport.
Yeah, I think I can only really see this going one way. Barrow going quite well. Newport conceding 8 goals in their last 2 games.
Damn.
I think I'm going to have to say Barrow 2, Newport 0.
Well, I am going to go for a draw. I think Newport are going to have a little kick up their bum. I'm going to go for Barrow 2, Newport 2. Up next, we have Bradford versus Wimbledon.
I'm going to struggle to separate these two. Bradford started off really well. They've had a little bit of a hiccup. Wimbledon are like 3rd. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go 1-1, sit on the fence.
And I'm going to have to go for the same result as you. I'm going to have to go for Bradford 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. Next, we have Colchester United versus Tranmere Rovers.
This is another one which I feel I'm struggling a little bit to separate the two. So, again, I'm going to sit on the fence and go for Colchester 2, Tranmere 2.
Well, I think Tranmere are doing quite well. Colchester, not so much. I think it's going to be a tight one, but I'm going to go for Colchester 0, Tranmere 1. Moving on to Crewe Alexandra versus Harrogate Town.
Harrogate got a absolute freak result against Doncaster last week, but I think Crewe are going to be a little bit too strong for them at home. So I am going to say Crewe 2, Harrogate 0.
Yeah, it was a bit of a freak result for Harrogate, but I mean, a great result against a very, very good Doncaster side. I don't think they could emulate that again, but I think they may draw. So I'm going to go for Crewe 2, Harrogate 2. Next up, we have Grimsby versus Bromley.
Difficult one to call, I think, but because Bromley are going so well as a promoted club, I'm going to stick with Bromley and go Grimsby 0, Bromley 1.
See, I think it's going to be a home win. I'm going to go for Grimsby 2, Bromley 0, although Bromley are doing quite well. On to MK Dons versus Doncaster Rovers. This is going to be a big one.
Well, I think obviously Doncaster are going to want to recover from their horrendous result last week. And MK Dons, weird start to their season. It's very difficult to sort of work out how they're going to do. But I think Doncaster are going to be desperate to rectify their result from last week. So I'm going to say MK Dons 1, Doncaster 2.
I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game. I'm going to go for 0-0. Now on to Notts County versus Gillingham.
This is going to be an interesting one. First versus second. I think Gillingham had a bit of an iffy result recently. They've lost the game compared to Notts County, who haven't yet, and they are at home. So I think I'm going to say Notts County 3, Gillingham 2. I think this one will be very entertaining.
Yeah, I think this will be a very entertaining game. Notts County are playing really, really well. A bit of an iffy result for Gillingham. I mean, losing 1-0 to Doncaster. They are a tough side, Doncaster, so you can understand.
But they just lost 4-0 to Swindon.
Yes.
EFL be EFLing.
Exactly. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go for Notts County 4, Gillingham 2. Up next on our list is Salford City versus Walsall.
Now, Walsall are still very dark horses, I think, and they're doing really well. But Salford are getting some quite good results at home, so it's a bit difficult to call this one. I think I will go for the stronger overall and say Salford 0 at Walsall 2.
Yeah, I mean, with Salford playing at home, it could be a tough one for Walsall. Walsall have lost more games than Salford this season, only by 1 though, but they have no draws. I don't think it will be a draw though. I'm going to go for Salford 0, Walsall 2. And our last Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff is Swindon Town versus Carlisle United.
Carlisle are another team who I expected to be doing better than they actually are. There's still a long way to go though, so we could still be right there. But Swindon have just come off the back of a 4-0 win against Newport. So I think they're going to be absolutely buzzing with that. We'll want to build on that after their difficult start to the season. I'm going to say Swindon 1, Carlisle 0.
Yeah, I mean, that 4-0 result against Newport, I was shocked when I saw that. And I was a bit disappointed in Carlisle losing 3-2 to Fleetwood. Although Fleetwood are a good side, I thought Carlisle could have got something out of that. It's going to be a tough one, but I think Swindon are going to win. And I'm going to say Swindon 2, Carlisle 1. Our last fixture in the list on Monday 23rd of September, rivals Fleetwood Town and Morecambe face off.
So with something of a derby, it's going to be difficult to really predict how this one will go, and form kind of goes out the window. But let's just entertain it for a second. Morecambe got their first point of the season so far last weekend against Colchester.
3-3.
Yeah, so they actually scored their first 3 goals of the season after losing 1-0 in every single game. That was, obviously I got that wrong last week. I said 1-0. What can you do? And Fleetwood have been a little bit up and down. It's, again, really difficult to sort of tell how their season is about to go and how they're going to do in this game. With them being at home, I think I'm going to just favour the home team and say Fleetwood 2, Morecambe 1.
That 3-3 draw against Colchester for Morecambe, it was well needed just to get a point on the board. That will really boost their confidence. Fleetwood, with a 3-2 win against Carlisle, that was a fantastic win for them. But against these rivals, as you said, like form's out the window, it's a different pot of gravy. I'm going to have to go for a draw and say Desmond. I'm going to go Fleetwood 2, Morecambe 2. So that's our League 2 Week 7 predictions done. What do you reckon? Do you agree or disagree with either of us? Let us know your predictions in the comments below.
As always, don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot and we really appreciate the support so far.
Thank you for watching the video. We will see you next time for more predictions.
Bye.
See ya.